What is up, guys? Welcome to Loveshack Entertainment, and today we're coming at you with another deck profile video because it seems to just be the theme of this week. Constant deck profile videos, and to be honest with you, normally it was going to fill this week with Dimension of Chaos openings, but for whatever reason, the set became weirdly hard to find, and the majority of stores that we go to in this area have actually not put them out on the shelves yet. So there's a couple of Targets, Walmarts near us, etc., that I usually go to get packs to do openings for, and they're just not on the shelves. So I figured to stall some time until they actually come out. We'll do another deck profile video, and in the meantime, hopefully going to be doing Yugi's collection this weekend, I think. If not, it may be next weekend. I'm not 100% sure with that, but we should have one for sure within the next week or two. So I can guarantee you that as soon as Dimension of Chaos is easily accessible, we'll have some openings for you. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and jump right into this. We're doing Igknight deck profile, and this is the second one because I did one a couple weeks ago, and it was really bad because I didn't have everything, and I didn't really have a grasp on the deck, so this time it's complete. This is what I played with this at Locals for the first time this past week, and I topped, I got second place, so I'm pretty comfortable with it, but I still have, obviously, a lot to do in terms of really just getting myself accustomed to it. So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll start with monsters as usual. So Triple Cavalier, and as I said in the last video, but I'll do this one just in case people don't see it, every Igknight monster has the same effect. You can see it right here. If you have an Igknight card in your other Pendulum Zone, destroy cards in both your Pendulum Zones. If you do, add one Fire Warrior type monster from your hand or graveyard, deck or graveyard rather, to your hand. So you can understand that as a Pendulum engine, they work to kind of search and go through the deck. That's really the main play that they have. And so we have 3 Cavalier, 3 Margars. These are the level 5s of the deck. Now, I've seen some people opt to play these at lesser numbers and max out on the 6s. I'm just not a huge fan of that because I think the 5s are really important, and I think the rank 5 exceeds that you have access to are really strong in terms of what they can do for the deck. So, overall, when you take that into consideration, I think 3 and 3 on the 5s is definitely the best number. Veteran is, no, but they changed the name, I'm sorry. Cavalier, rather, is 2400, which makes it really effective because it speeds up your ability to OTK. If you can just, like, load up your Pendulum Zone and put 3 of these on board, that's 7200 damage right there, and that's without even having to do anything or overlay, whatever. So it's really good in that regard. So Triple Igknight Gallant, this is a level 6, and it's a scale 2. So obviously every level has a 7 and a 2 so that you can, be able to bring on anything between 3 and 6. Gallant is 2100 attack, 2200 defense. Now the other level 6, which came out in Dimension of Chaos, is Igknight Veteran. So I go 3 and 2 with these. Now Veteran has 2700 defense, so it's a good wall, and if you do have the field spell out, it's 3000, so you can definitely stall as far as what you can do with it. And the best part is that it's not a bottomless trap hole target, so if your opponent does bottomless your summon, at least you have something to sit on. I've had that happen a couple of times, unfortunately. So 2 and 3. Why not 3 and 3? Just because space, because there's a couple other things I've chosen to play as one-ofs, and because most of the time you don't really need the third veteran. You can just kind of go into whatever 6s. I do play a couple of 6s, obviously, because it's just potent for what it does at that level. Now, the key element of the deck here, obviously, is going to be the 3 Paladins, which are the level 4s, and the 3 Templars, which are the other level 4s, so the scale 7, scale 2s. Now, a lot of the extra deck is rank 4s, because it's just really the most powerful engine that a deck can utilize, especially with Cyber Dragon Infinity coming out, things like that. But Templar is also 1700, so you can normal summon and put some damage on board, and it's really easy to kind of swarm the field with 4s, particularly number 86, which we'll take a look at when we go to the extra deck. But the 4s are definitely the best part. The deck, we took a little bit of a hit with Rhoda when Rhoda went to 1, but I think I have some options to replace that as well. So 2 Royal Magical Library. I was playing this at 3, but it does kind of suck when you draw it late game where it's more or less obsolete. So 2 is good because you still have a decent shot of drawing it in your opening hand, and you don't have to worry about that overkill of the third one. This is really just a broken card in general, and I don't care if anyone disagrees with that. It is. It's a terribly designed card, and it probably should be banned or limited. The ability to really just fuel plays off of spells and give you draw after draw after draw in this deck, but also in decks like Exodia and Chicken Game and all that other crap, just makes this card kind of degenerate. But I'm not going to not take advantage of the fact that we have it and can use it to just kind of speed us up and get us more plays and more potency. 1 Rescue Rabbit because it's awesome, because it can bring out your 4s from the deck, and it can speed you up, put some damage. Also allow you to make an Exceed play, and with the recyclability that the deck has, it's not really ever a dead draw, especially when you get it, in the early half of the game. This I'm playing instead of Rescue Hamster, just because Hamster was more often than not kind of a dead draw for me, and I didn't really see any reason to play it. I didn't like it, so some people may prefer it, but, whatever. And then one Denko Sekas. This card wins games on its own, but the thing is that it isn't an Igknight, and it can kind of clog if you draw it too early and don't have combo pieces. So I cut it from 2 to 1 because having the 1 is definitely awesome, and it definitely locks down decks like Volcanics and other things. I do side a second one, though, so that when I'm playing against trap-heavy decks, I'll forego the consistency to be able to stop myself from being completely onslaughted by traps and such, like Vanities and other things. So let's move to spells. Triple Ignition Phoenix. It's a little different than originally because I was playing Chicken Game in this and the Terraforming. 3 Phoenix is really just the best way to go. It searches your Ignites, gives your monsters boosts, and fuels your combos, really lets you pull off some better plays. The One Pot of Riches. Now, I love this card in the deck. I can't say enough good things about it, but the thing is, I never fucking draw it. If I drew it more, then I would definitely be able to maximize plays, get stuff from grave back in deck, and make cards less dead. But the problem is, of course, you play multiple copies, then you're going to draw it when you can't use it. So right now, 1 seems to be a good number. Really just wish I could get access to it a little bit more. And then 2 Painful Decisions. So this is one of the new cards. There's a secret rare in Dimension of Chaos. Send 1 level 4 or lower normal monster from your deck to the graveyard. If you do, add 1 card with the same name as that monster from your deck to your hand. So this searches any of your Templars, Paladins, whatever, and really just replaces Rhoda in the deck. Now, I'm not playing Crusader anymore. You don't really need it with the 5s and 6s. It kind of... The rank 3 engine is relatively bad right now compared to the other options that you have in the deck. So Decision can be a dead draw. I can understand that argument, but as long as you get it early and you get your stuff in grave, it really does fuel your plays, and it's, the best, most suitable replacement for Rhoda that we have. And plus, to be honest, who doesn't love that artwork? That's some pretty sweet artwork right there. Let's see, Triple Summoner's Art, because it searches like almost your entire deck, and it's a beautiful super rare for the record, and because it just speeds you up, thins the deck, and also can put counters on library, things like that. Almost always one of those things you want to open with. 1 Igknight Reload. So this is one I've gone back and forth on and ended up putting it back in because it's pretty cool. Reveal any number of pendulum monsters from your hand and shuffle them into the deck, then draw cards equal to the number of cards you shuffled into the deck. Also, you can now draw cards by card effects for the rest of the turn. So, basically, this turns your 1 Igknight in hand into 2 cards, which means you have a better shot of getting combos off. But it also can take your opening hand that may kind of suck and shuffle it back in, and then you can draw more search power, so you thin the deck and get cards out of there. Being a quick play means there's a lot of versatility to it, and you can chain it to stuff. All in all, really useful, really good one-of, but I would not personally recommend playing it at any number other than 1. That's just me. You may feel differently about it, in which case, great, good for you. So 2 MST, the deck loses to Mistake and stuff. You definitely want to have those outs, and honestly, I would think about maybe, playing Galaxy Cyclone too. Just not 100% sure how I feel about that. 1 Reinforcement of the Army, because we only have 1, so that's what that is. Obviously, I would max it out if I could. 1 Dark Factory of Mass Production, can't say enough good things about this card either. Basically, it's add 2 normal monsters from your graveyard to your hand. So if you do use Painful Decision, you can get your cards back, but there's also the entire idea that you're able to really just... if you top deck this and then you get them back, you go for a quick Pendulum Summon, or you set off combo plays. At least you have things to do, and that's a really, really good card late game. So here comes my 1 tech that I'm playing in here that I know a lot of the decks aren't playing. This is the 1 Monarch Stormforth. Now, maybe this is because there's a very large number of Cosmo decks in my area, as I imagine some other people can feel the same. You do play like 11 tribute monsters in here, and so this is one of those things that can get over Dark Destroyer and or Forerunner without having to worry about triggering their effects, because it's a quick play, obviously, so you can tribute summon a Gallant, Margrave, whatever. Normally, that's not the play you want to make, but it's one of those things that, like, having at least 1 does give you that option so that you don't get completely stuck not being able to do anything, especially if they get Vanities or whatever. This is a viable card, and it has worked well for me in the deck up to this point. So I do like it at 1, but I do also expect that some people are going to be like, oh, it's terrible, I wouldn't play it, whatever. Now, you can't special summon monsters from the extra deck during the turn you use it, but obviously, you're going to want to pick and choose when you do play it for that reason. Triple Upstart Goblin, because it basically makes it so my deck has 38 cards. I play 41, so, draw draw power, put some counters on library and all that nonsense. So really just, again, useful. And then for the traps, so 2 Royal Decree. I do not like Tyrant's Throws. I think it's kind of bad, and that may be the unpopular opinion, but whatever. I did play it, and I don't like it. I just think it's a dead draw a lot. I think it takes a bit to set up, and I think Decree is just a much more effective way to really get OTK damage on board, especially in combination with Denko. I don't like it. I don't like Tyrant's Throws, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, you have to play it." Blah blah blah. I don't think it's very good, and personally, I don't want to play it. So that's what I'm playing in place of it is Decree. I found Decree works much more effectively. I don't play any other traps, so there's really no reason not to run Decree. You could even max it out if you wanted to, but all in all, I think Decree is definitely the better option there. Just again, my personal opinion. You don't have to like it. I don't expect that you will. So let's take a look at the extra deck. As far as rank 6s go, we have Strike Bouncer, and I should have sorted this beforehand. I do this all the time. So I have 3 rank 6s. Strike Bouncer, Gauntlet Launcher, and this card. So what the hell is this card? People ask me. So this card is really funny, and it's easy to make because of your Pendulum Summoning ability, but it's one of those things I don't make often. I find it to be more useful against Cosmo than anything else. Once per turn, you can attach 2 materials from this card. Return all other cards on the field to the hand. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to this card's activation. So, with 3,000 defense, you can make this pretty easily, and then you can bounce everything that the opponent has back to the hand. Now, this is obviously not going to be useful if you're playing against Cosmo and your opponent's got like a Farm Girl out. But if they have, like, say, a couple of Forerunners, a couple of spaceships, whatever, some back row, this is really just one of those ways, especially in combination with Decree, that you can just clear that whole field. Basically, you buy yourself some time, and then you force them to kind of find a way to play themselves back into it. Now, as far as 5s go, Outris, really, because it does get over stuff that may hinder me, like Mistake and whatnot. Volcasaurus, because it's an awesome card, does a lot of damage, puts stuff on board. Shark Fortress, I mean, the deck's main goal is to OTK, even though I may have more fun playing a, control variant, but... and then Greedy Saramaya. So, I don't know if you've seen this card before. Your opponent takes any effect damage you would have taken instead. And then when this card destroys a monster by battle, you can detach a material, destroy all monsters on the field whose current attack is less than or equal to the original attack of the destroyed monster. So, let's just assume for some reason that you're able to run this over... I don't know, I can't think of something off the top of my head, of course. But, I could see this hitting... random things, like say you hit a Trick Clown, Performer Pals, like the Trick Clown's going to come back, but then you nuke the rest of their field, whatever else that they have. It's also stronger than Cyber Dragon Infinity and other things like that, so it is one of those things that in the right situation with the right protection from traps, you can actually make some powerful plays. Rank 4s, Ragna Zero, Silent Honor Arc, Rhapsody and Berserk, all kind of generics. Dark Rebellion, Gaga Cowboy, Abyss Dweller, again, Castell, and then, of course, the ace card here, number 86 Heroic Champion, Rongomanad. So, making this with 5 materials early game is not difficult to do, and it's really hard for a lot of decks to get over, which is why I think it's such a good card. And it's everything in your deck is a warrior, with the exception of, like, Denko. So, it's not hard to put that on board. And when you do, more often than not, you can either get game, or you can put enough damage on board that, like, a Saki top deck later in the game will be enough to, finish your opponent off with, like, Cowboy or something. So, yeah, that's basically the updated deck profile. I'm playing this IRL right now, and I think the deck's a lot of fun, and definitely recommend that you guys give it a try if you're interested in it. Again, I know some of my choices may not be the most popular, but I found the deck works pretty well. So, that's my build. Thank you for watching, and again, hopefully we'll have some Dimension of Chaos coming for you this weekend, assuming I can actually find it. See you right here next time, Loveshack Entertainment.